And on the third day, he said, today will be new comic book day. In his infinite wisdom, God made Wednesday, new comic book day, to get us through that hump, through the slow time of the week when we're starting to lose our motivation for living after the weekend. Then Wednesday comes and boom, it is time for new comics, revitalizing all of us. It is Wednesday, so it means it is time for TGIW. Thank God it is Wednesday. Actually, I went to my couple of normal stores, picked up some stuff, and in that there was a new comic. That is right. DC released a handful of new comics this week to stores, and they were able to sell them on Tuesday. Tuesday was actually new comic book day, but we're going to ignore that. In our hearts, we all know that Wednesday is new comic book day, so that's why we're here today. So what did we pick up from the first store? I've mentioned this before, how much I love the Creeper. I don't know. I think it's just like, look at that. Look at the colors. They just pop, and he's crazy. And I don't know. I really like the Creeper. So this was a 1998, late 97 through 98. I think it was 11 issue run of the Creeper. I got some of the issues. I got 1 through 5, 11, and oh man, 1 million. What is the Creeper gonna look like in the year 1 million? It is not pretty, man. Those 1 million issues. So I got a little over half of that from one of the stores, and I also picked up the first issue of Volume 2 of Ragman. If you recall, last week I had some Volume 1 of Ragman. That's almost complete for Volume 1. And then here is Issue 1 of Volume 2. Once I get all those, they're not like... Volume 1 is 5 issues. Volume 2 is like 11 issues or something around there. So once I get them all, I'll just knock them all out. From the other store, I picked up issues 2 through 5 of Volume 2 of Ragman. So need the rest of this, but I now have the first 5 issues of Volume 2 of Ragman, and Volume 1 is 1 issue away from being complete. I'll probably get completed here pretty soon. Also, oh, these are so fun. Alien vs. Predator Omnibus Volume 2. I have Volume 1, and I've read through it. That was a while ago. I also have, I think, the first 3 volumes of the Aliens Omnibus. And I get it's right in that spot of just like 90s. I don't want to say, it's the stuff that I love. I don't know why. It's fun. They're usually quick reads. You can get through a lot of content. I don't know. It just speaks to me, but I love the Aliens franchise. And Alien vs. Predator is a lot of fun. So got the second volume of that Dark Horse Omnibus. And now I did get one new comic. It could be better, but at least it's something new. Joker and Harley issue 4. This hasn't been super great. It's been okay. The Harleen Black Label series has been a lot better. But out of all the things the very small amount of things that DC came out with this week, this was the only one that is on my poll. So this is the one that I got. All right. So moving on to this week, again, as usual, before we can talk about what I'm going to read this week, we have to talk about how I did last week. Did I meet my goals? Yes, I have yet to not meet a goal I have set for myself, and I keep increasing the pressure and what that is. So, and I still came through. So what did I read? I read Volume 3 of X-Men Age of Apocalypse. That was a number of issues. As predicted, this read fast for a couple of reasons. One, so good. Age of Apocalypse is so good. Historically, I'm not a super big X-Men fan, but the problem that I have with X-Men usually is it being so inundated with history. This is an alternative timeline, so it's like it's a fresh start almost, and it's self-contained. Now, I know things bleed out of this. Exiles bleeds out of this, which actually is one of my favorite runs. The original run of Exiles is so good, so good. I have that, and I've read through it a number of years ago, but it's really good, and it kind of comes from this. But Age of Apocalypse is a great X-Men story. If you haven't read it, I suggest it. It's 3 volumes. They're normal Marvel price, $35 cover each, but you can get them for quite a bit cheaper than that. So if you haven't read through this, just get these collections. So good. And it presents them in the correct reading order, which is nice because it spreads across 4 or 5 different series and some specials and whatnot. And it starts in like what cable number or something, I don't know. But you get the entire story in reading order with these collected editions. So these are great. So I read through all of that. I said I was going to read 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. That was, what issues was it? 41, 42, and 43, which is basically the intro to Rhino arc. So 41 is the introduction, is the first appearance of Rhino, and he shows up in 42 and 43. 42 also the first full appearance, or first actual appearance of Mary Jane. And if you haven't actually read that, the only way that you can describe Mary Jane during this era is insufferable. Oh, it's bad. Like, she is the stereotype that we think of probably even today of like over the top hippie. It's almost a mix between like hippie and fit. Like, she's all like calls Petey Pedio, and she's like, it's got to dance, and it is. Her language is just. It's painful. It is painful. Let me see if I can find anything random of her just talking. It's say, PD, wouldn't it be a kick to really see the Rhino in person? I'll bet the Rhino's a real swinger. Like, what? The radio said he was on the east side, PDO. What? What are you talking about? Come on, PD, let your hair down. They're playing our song. Those crazy threads break me up. Just that. Ugh. I never thought a tiger who wore his hair so short could be so dreamy. And you've got a bouncing bike too. Dad, you're the end. Shut up. Oh my, how did they ever end up getting married? She is just, and he is just smitten that entire time. Oh my God. Oh my God. Mary Jane. Whew. All right. So I read those 3 issues. I read my 2 issues of Captain Carrot. I also said I was going to read 10 more issues of AquaMAN. I read 25 issues of AquaMAN. 25 issues of this. The reason for this is after reading the 10 issues, first it was in the middle of sort of a storyline, so I wanted to finish it up. And then that bled into the end of Peter David's run on this title. So I wanted to read through that at least, and then I just kind of kept going. So after Peter David finishes, there are 2 issues. All right, so Peter David ends on 47. Then there are 2 issues, 48, 49, are by Abnett and Lanning. Great team, and these were okay. And then at 50, Eric Larson takes over. Eric Larson takes over. Look, I get it. I read 11 issues into the Eric Larson run. So it may seem like I'm lying here. This is not good. It's the circle, right? It's the circle of 90s stuff. Like where it's bad, it gets more and more extreme, it gets more and more extreme, it gets more and more extreme. It's actually kind of fun, it's kind of good, it's more extreme, oh, it's come back around, all the way to, oh no, it's just bad again. And Larson has brought it full circle. The bottom third of that circle is what I love. And Peter David's run was right in there. Oh, it was so much fun. It was so good. Larson just all the way around to just, it's not good. But I kept reading it because I'm like, now I just want to get done with it. So, I mean, the stories in general, the ideas in there, some of them are okay, but, and it's, the art's not great either. It's like, it's getting to that late 90s where there's just so much, it's just too much going on the page at once, and everyone's way super beefy, and it doesn't, it's not good. So, having said that, I am wanting to get through that. There are 15 issues left until I am finished. So, and that was all for my what I read this last week. So moving on to what I'm going to read this week. I am going to read the last 15 issues of Volume 5 of AquaMAN. So that is issue 61 through 75. It's Larson. Oh. Should have read these last 2. It's only Larson for 2 more issues. Then I guess it does switch off to Jurgens. And I know I've read stuff by Jurgens, more recent stuff by Jurgens, and enjoyed it. I don't know what his late 90s era stuff is like, or at least I don't remember what that's like. So we'll see. But get through those 15, and then we'll be done. We'll be done with AquaMAN Volume 5. Awesome. So then, also, where to go? Wendigo. Stinky. Wendigo. My dog is making biscuits back here. Making brownies or whatever. 2 more issues of Captain Carrot. We're getting there. 2 issues a week seems to be what I can handle of this. So issues 12 and 13 out of 20. So eventually we'll get there. To get myself pumped for that Namor series, this Submariner mini that I got, I think, last week. So I'm going to read through this just to prepare myself when I'm ready to jump into the 90s Namor run. And this, I keep forgetting about this. I've been wanting to read this for a while now. The set of specials of Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Venom, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Web of Spider-Man. All special number 1 that make up this Planet of Symbiotes story. These are, be careful, these are, at least, especially I think the first one is worth, I mean, it's not like a lot, but I think it's like $30-$40, something like that. But these aren't super easy to get. But I do have the full run, the full story. And I've been meaning to read through this, and I just keep kind of forgetting about it. So we're going to add that to it. And then, of course, the Joker Harley 4, the one new comic. So I have that, Joker Harley number 4, the 5 Planet of Symbiotes, and these are flip books too. On the other side is a Scarlet Spider story. I believe is how they work. I'll have to crack them open and see how they go. The Prince Namor Submariner mini. 2 issues of Captain Carrot. The last 15 issues of AquaMAN. And 3 more issues of Amazing Spider-Man. This is going to be Annual 3. So Annual 3, the actual Annual 3 has some reprints, but then one new story with the Avengers. So I'll read that. And then 44, and 45. Too far? Not far enough. Which is, together they are a Lizard story. It's the second and third appearance of the Lizard, so the Lizard comes back. We've seen Dr. Connors since this, but it is the second and third appearance of the Lizard. So that seems like, get that annual knocked out, and then that 2-part Lizard story seems like a reasonable thing. And again, I could always go for more. Who knows? But that's I think this is good, right? That's a lot of stuff. And those Planet of the Symbiote books are pretty thick. They're not your normal size book. All right, so that is all of it. Good news, getting some new comics in. So that's kind of fun. What were you able to pick up new this week, if anything? And let me know what you think of my picks this week. If you've read any of it, or interested in reading any of it, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.